We're learning a little more about something you probably don't want us to talk about. It's something that's going to impact everyone who drives in and around the city.
And I mean, there are a lot of stories that are buzzy, but I feel like this is something that's been weighing on our heads for a while. We're talking about congestion pricing. You knew it was coming. At some point, we were going to get to it. And two words that have drivers really just grabbing their pockets and locking the door, because it feels like if you have a car, people are going to be taking money from you.
Yeah, Sonia Rincon has been following all of this. She sat through that lengthy meeting yesterday where some of the final proposals were talked about. And I guess, you know, the bottom line here is everybody's going to have to pay something. Sonia, you and I were just talking about 20 minutes ago on some of these details, and the conversations go on, a lot of hypotheticals. You know, something that caught my attention this morning as we were having that discussion, what about taxis? What about Ubers? What about Lyfts?
Yeah.
How does that play into this?
Well, you're right that we're all going to have to pay no matter what time of day. You know, the Traffic Mobility Review Board put out these 4 different scenarios yesterday where they talked about overnight discounts varying from 50 to 75%. But it doesn't matter what time of day. Everyone's going to have to pay something. And you did ask about Uber and Lyft and taxis. They will charge customers additional surcharges. There are already surcharges now. And some of the taxi and Uber drivers were protesting outside of that meeting yesterday because they don't want to charge customers additional surcharges because they don't like the idea of a customer getting into a cab and seeing that the price is already, you know, $5 or $6 without even moving anywhere. But again, the Traffic Mobility Review Board presented 4 different scenarios, and they all had some things in common. The board is very interested in trying to prevent toll shopping. That's people trying to go a different way to get around the toll, but they have decided that drivers entering the tunnels below 60th Street will get discounts of $4 to $7. So will there be a double toll? Yes, but a credit will offset that total for those entering the tunnels. People driving over bridges won't get a discount because there is no toll at the bridges on the East River anyway. There is, of course, a very expensive toll at the George Washington Bridge, but that doesn't enter the Central Business District below 60th Street. So drivers who cross that bridge and then go south to go below 60th Street would be double tolled with no credit, and that has New Jersey officials up in arms today. They've lobbied and threatened to sue if New Jersey drivers have to pay twice, and it looks like that is what's going to happen. But the board is really trying to avoid exemptions for anybody to keep that base toll as low as it can be, which we know will be anywhere from $9 to $23. And, you know, the board members were asked yesterday if that range has gotten any narrower. They didn't say. So they were throwing around a number of $15 or $16, which is in the middle of that range, but they really haven't nailed down a number. And that's really what everyone wants to know is how much is that base toll going to be, and we don't know yet.
Yeah, so we still have 6 more months before this is even something that gets implemented. But aren't you by one of those gantries right now, Sonia? Is that like right behind you?
That's right. Yes, this is here on. I'm standing on West End Avenue between 61st and 60th Street. So you can see the new gantries. Yep. They are going up all over the city, and yeah, they look like toll readers. And you know, they'll be looking at your license plate. Perhaps this will be incorporated into Easy Pass if that's something you have. But all of this is, of course, to disincentivize being in a car in the Central Business District. And one interesting thing about the surcharges for taxis and for hire vehicles is that for hire vehicles might even, this is in one of the scenarios at least, have to charge an additional surcharge for those who are taking a ride within the Central Business District. And of course, that's to disincentivize taking an Uber or a Lyft when you could be taking the subway or mass transit. So even if you're not exiting and entering that Central Business District, they would still charge you, again, to disincentivize you from you know, not taking the subway.
This is so harsh. It's harsh on everybody. And if it's an environmental impact, from what I understand, like London, who's had this since 2003. So if you have an electric car, you are exempt. But from what I just read, and Sonia, you probably know more than me, New York is not even going to exempt electric cars after 2025, but they will in the short term. So what about any kind of, maybe not an exemption, but are they going to be giving discounts other than the toll discounts? What about to people who live in a neighborhood? What about that? Because I don't get this at all.
Yeah, again, they're trying to minimize those exemptions to keep the base rate low. And they didn't even talk about electric cars yesterday, to be honest, but they did talk about specialized government vehicles, so like garbage trucks, ambulances. If you're driving one of those, you're exempt, but and so no tolls for those. But there are also discounts for people who are qualifying low-income drivers who do have to frequently pay that toll. So once they hit 10 trips per month, then something like a 50% discount would kick in. That's one of the scenarios that they talked about for discounts. But again, they're just trying to minimize those exemptions. Another exemption would be, of course, for commuter buses. Any type of commuter bus would be exempt because that's mass transit that they're trying to incentivize using.
Right.
It is very clear, abundantly so, that this is extremely complicated. They still have a few more months to figure it out. Thank you for that, Sonia. But man, they might have to go back to the drawing board.
And we're going to be talking about it, and we'll be, talking about it together through the entire process.
It's going to happen.
Absolutely.
I mean, the gantries are up.
That much is true.
They
It's going to happen.
the infrastructure is there.
There's no debate. It just depends on how much.